Well, hey, neighbor. It's me, Angie. Come on in. Or should I say, come on by. I'm under my carport today. It is so cool out here. The wind's blowing. It's probably got to be in the 80s. This is the first day that I've gotten to sit out in my underneath my carport or in my yard, and I don't know how many weeks. It's been so hot here in Mississippi. But I'm so glad you're here for our neighborhood chat. I've been pretty excited, hesitant, because I wanted to talk to you all about this, but you never know how it's going to go over. But if it goes over like a lead balloon, I guess we'll just have to deal with it and work it out. But anyway, as you're driving up, go in and get you something to drink. But I do have my refrigerator out here under the carport, and you can get you a drink from out of there if you want to. I hope you brought your chair. I do have some seats at my picnic table that you all can sit. But I want to talk to you about something. On my live, I had put, let's have a neighborhood watch. Let's start a neighborhood watch or something along those lines. I had said something like that. But my talk is going to be about, it's not a competition. It's a community. And what do I mean about that? What do I mean when I say that? Well, I mean, we're not competing against each other here on YouTube. At least I'm not. I don't think any of us should be competing against one another. I mean, if you want to have your own personal goals, of how much you want your channel to grow and how fast you want it to grow, I mean, that's you. But don't get in a competition with another channel and try to hurt them, talk bad about them, be ugly to them because their channel might be doing better than yours. I mean, I have seen so many things this week that has just really touched my heart, broken my heart, made me sad. And I talked about it a little on my live today, One channel had a chat about being stressed out and living under a lot of stress. And, we can't do that. I'm living proof of that. Part of the reason I have a pacemaker is because of the stress at working at a bank and raising 2 teenage children. And, it's just a lot of things that I wouldn't vent and I would just keep inside. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but when you work at a financial institution like a bank, you see a lot of things and you see a lot of people and you see their account and you know all their personal business. Well, I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't even talk about it to James. These people that appear to have all this money and really they're in a lot of debt. And I often wondered why they would even have that, let that persona come off that they were rich when really I don't even know how they were sleeping at night. Plus, after 9/11 hit, our laws changed, our federal laws as far as loaning money. And I worked in the compliance department, and that's the people that regulate the bank to make sure that they're obeying all the federal rules. But anyway, it was a lot of stress. And I still wouldn't talk about it. I felt like I could handle it and I'd keep it inside. And I think that's partially why I have a pacemaker now, is because of I couldn't sleep at night. My mind would not stop running. I would have 2 or 3 days planned ahead, or think about what I didn't get accomplished that day and how far behind I was going to be, And here I am today, and none of that really matters. I lived through it. I would have probably lived through it a lot easier had I not been so stressful. But it did get better. And I'm here to tell you things will get better if you will allow it to. My air conditioner just kicked on. I hope you can hear me. But let me move out here a little bit. But let me tell you this. Stress will kill you. And I know you all already know that. Try to relieve it by meditation, getting out doing something you really like to do, anything. But it's so disheartening when people are living under so much stress, and they live under stress because, this particular person had an auction, and I'm sure, this is this person's livelihood, and their only way of that they make a living. And I'm sure it gets stressful when your customers do not pay, when they bid on things and they purchase stuff and then they don't pay and then they ghost you. I'm sure it's stressful when you have people come into your chat and act ugly, act like second graders, and we're all supposed to be adults. People trying to come over to one person's auction and get some of those people to go over to somebody else's auction right in the middle of that auction, which I think is the most tackiest thing you can do. That's just my opinion. But when someone is under a lot of stress, and you never know what somebody is dealing with, one cruel word can tip somebody over the edge to do something to themselves. One nice word or kind word may cause that person to reevaluate their whole entire life and really handle things in a different way. You have to be careful what and how you say things to people. And like I said, it's not a competition. We're supposed to be a community. Now I'm a competitive person when it comes to sports, but my daughter and husband and my daughter-in-law are over the top. You know what I'm saying? Just over the top of competing. But that's one thing. But when you start trying to destroy somebody's YouTube channel or their self-worth or their ability to function on a day-to-day basis when all they're trying to do is make a living, you live a sad, lonely life. If you don't like that channel, and I've said this before, go away. Go away. No one's asking you to watch it. That was one thing that bothered me this week, was to see that person under so much stress, and really felt bad about, something happened, and it was just, she had lashed out to someone and she felt really bad about it. But we're all human and we do that. Then the next thing, is about Johnny, Cajun Roots reseller. He wants us to pray for him because he's had some blood work that did not come back the way he thought it should, or, the hospital thought it should. And he needs our prayers right now about that. I did not know that he suffered from leukemia at one time, and it went in remission twice. And, he's sitting on edge now thinking that's what it is, and he may have to go through that again, And I can say from experience, I've never had to deal with that, but you just get tired sometimes of going through the same thing over and over. It's just like you think, how many times have I got to fight this? I do that every time I have a relapse. I think I'm not going to get through this. I've told James, I'm not going to make it through this. And he and my children just say, keep pushing, Mama, keep pushing. You're going to get stronger. And I do get stronger, but it's not easy. We need people there to support us and to uplift us and to encourage us, not to bring us down, talk about us, destroy us, spread rumors about us. You don't need that in this community that we're supposed to have. It's not a competition. Now, if you think it's a competition, you need to reevaluate your whole reason you have a YouTube channel. Because I'm here to tell you, and I'm an observer of channels. If people want to come to your channel, they're going to come no matter what you do. You don't have to offer them anything. You don't have to go and steal. And I don't really think you can steal people from other people's channel, because I'm this way. I'm going to go to the channels I want to. And when you come over and try to convince me to go to somebody else's channel, I'm not going to go unless I want to. And that's me being an adult. I mean, that's like telling somebody that they need to shop at one place and you want to shop somewhere else. No, we can't do that. And then there was another channel that said that they were going to stay away from YouTube because they have been caught up in something that people will not leave this person alone, and they feel like they just are tired of the antics that this person is doing, the backlash, the talking about them, the saying nothing but lies, and they just are getting off YouTube. And I thought, now that's so sad, because I really enjoyed this channel. I really enjoyed going over to this person's channel and watching it. And to think that another human being had pressured this person so much that they decided, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not fun. I don't want to be on YouTube. I feel sorry for the person that did that to that person, because you will have to answer to that. And for everything you do, good or bad, it comes back. I mean, if you continually are ugly and mean to people, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get that. And you're going to get it in spades. You're going to get it 10 times worse than what you gave to somebody else. Especially when you lie on them. When you tell lies and you spread gossip and you talk about things that you don't have a clue about. Unless you were actually there between and you live with the person, you don't know what's going on. So you shouldn't say anything when two people are disagreeing. Not out in public anyway. Now, if you want to send your condolences to, if a friendship has broken up, and say, I'm so sorry that it happened and all this stuff. But don't be nosy and want every detail about who said what. I mean, I have heard of people, and I don't know why this has happened to me, but every time there's been a big dramatic thing go down, I've not been there within our community. And then people will start texting me or emailing me saying, oh my goodness, were you in so-and-so's chat? Oh, you can't believe the things that were said. You can't believe the things that were done. Well, I happened to be in one of those the other day. And this person came into this live chat where this person was having a auction, and because they wasn't recognized right off the bat and just spoke to, and they were new, and the auction had already started, so the person had already spoken to everybody, and this person popped in, and I know this person that popped in, and I know it was their first time there, and they didn't get spoke to as quickly and as nicely, and they wasn't given a wrench and all this stuff. So they go and make a video about how bad they were treated in this channel, but they didn't say any names. And then I read under the comments of people that go to this person's auction and was saying, oh, I can't believe you got treated that way. I'm so sorry. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Why would you comment that? Because you don't know who she's talking about. Because had they known who she was talking about, I'm sure they would not have commented. Because this person that was doing the auction is very loved by our community. And that's why I say, don't say or comment on stuff that you know nothing about. I know it's hard for some people, because I have friends and family that cannot hold water. I mean, they won't, as soon as they find out about something, they want to run and tell it. They want to be the first ones to tell it. I mean, I love them, but I know who I can tell things to and who I can't tell things to. I don't share my private life on YouTube for the very reason I've seen it blow up in people's face. They'll think that somebody that lives 6,000 miles from them that they've never met is their best friend, and they can tell them anything. And in reality, no. I mean, I have family members that I don't even tell things, intimate things to, and I have grown up with them my entire life. Why would you tell somebody on YouTube about your financial situation, about your marriage, about your significant other, about what's going on in your house, about your sexual preference? Why would you even do that? uh, you opening yourself up to get really, really hurt. Now, as far as being a community, and when I say, let's get a neighborhood watch going, let's look out for each other. I mean, I'm not under the illusion that everybody can like everybody. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But we can respect one another, and we can look out for one another. And right is right and wrong is wrong. And when you try to come in and undermine somebody and be ugly to somebody, and you don't think people see it, they see it. They may not act like it to you that they see it, but they do. If you want to come in and be a soft beggar and you want to ask for money and you think people don't recognize what you're doing, they do. They recognize it. But if you can label yourself, go ahead. But you have to understand, when you get called out on things and when people finally have had enough and you get called out, it's going to hurt. Because when you get exposed, that's why I'm saying always be real. Because when you get exposed for not being real, nobody's ever going to trust you again. I mean, there's a couple of channels that I used to go to that I don't frequent too often now, that I don't feel the same way as I used to about the person or the people where I used to go to their channel. I don't see them in the same way that I used to see them. It's not that I don't like them. It's not that I wish harm to come on them. It's not that I want something bad, to happen. It's just when you lose trust in someone and your eyes are open to what someone really is when they pretended to be one way, you can't go back there. I mean, at least I can't. Doesn't mean I don't love them. Just means I don't want to go back there and spend my time where I can be in another chat, watching another live, and really enjoy myself. I know one channel that the person has acted one way as long as I've known them, and then they want to get their channel under control, and they start being a totally different, like they're this meek and mild person, when before they wasn't meek and mild. They just spoke out and said what they thought, and now they're just trying to be all meek and mild, and they love this person and that person, and they want their channel to grow this way and that way. No, you got to start from the beginning to be who you are. Now, anybody can change. I'm a firm believer in that. If you would have known me when I was in my 30s, I don't even look like the same person. Because I had a lot of things to work on, and I'm sure everybody else does. But you shouldn't feel guilty about not going to people's channel that you used to go to, or go to their lives, or sometimes people just come into your life for a short time. They're not meant to stay in your life for a very long time. It's going to be for a short time. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially if you want to be there for more than one person. Don't be us four and no more. Some people just want a few friends, and then they don't want anybody else to be in their little clique. Some people just want one friend, and they don't know how to handle more than one friend, and then they don't want that friend to be friends with anybody else. And I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about adults. We should be, if you're a prayerful person, like I pray, you should be praying for that person. Doing something, send that person a card, or get up and decide everything that comes out of my mouth today, I'm going to try for it to be positive and uplifting. It is easier to uplift someone than it is to tear them down. It takes more energy to argue and be mad than it does to be happy and glad. It takes less energy. And one more thing, guys, life's short. I don't know how many times I have to tell y'all. Life is short. It can be taken from you in a minute. And some of us are running around like we don't care if it is. We're going to be ugly and nasty, and we're going to talk about this person, and we're going to try destroy this person's channel, and because I'm getting attention. I'm getting attention. You know, negative attention, people will settle for that. Why? Why would you settle for negative attention? And I think it's okay just to walk away from somebody. You don't even have to explain yourself. And especially if you know somebody doesn't want you in their little circle of friends, don't stand there or sit there and take stuff that you wouldn't normally take just because you want to be part of a group. I'd rather be by myself. I like being by myself anyway. But I'm here to tell you, I love each and every one of you, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. You each have your own different channels, your own personalities. I know you all make mistakes just like I do. I make mistakes every day. Ask James. He's lived with me 36 years. Ask my children. They'll tell you. But they love me. And they won't go behind my back talking about me. And, you know, they encourage me. And they're there when I need them. Stop being ugly to people. Just stop. Be nice. I mean, if you have to, start off pretending that you are, and then maybe it'll just come natural the more you do something. That was kind of being funny because I don't want you to be fake, but I do want you to start saying nice things to others. And with that being said, neighbor, I'll tell you again, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. But let's get that neighborhood watch out and remember, it's not a competition, it's a community. It's something that we need to come together and be a part of and encourage one another and love one another and be there for one another. And stop being so nasty. Remember, like, share, subscribe, ring that bell so you'll know the next time I'm coming to you with a video. Bye, neighbor.